Even if you are in a happy marriage, listen, please hear me out, ladies. If you are even in a happy marriage, you're supposed to protect your credit report. Just freeze it and keep it under just your name and keep it secure.
Part of the reason I talk about money as much as I do is because so many people are afraid to talk about money, even sometimes with their own spouses, because we all come in with our own ideas, preconceived notions about money, how it works, how all of those aspects kind of affect our lives. And then we come into a marriage or a domestic partnership, whatever this is, right? You're kind of merging some financial things together, and we don't want to have those kind of conversations because they're uncomfortable, and we don't really want to talk about that because that's not a fun thing to talk about, but it'll make or break you. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified. I am your host, Jacqueline or Jax Crider, and today we have ZY on the podcast. She is a life coach and someone who has experienced so much, and it's something that I'm really passionate about talking about, and she is too. And it is in the financial realm, but it's also a little bit broader than that as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about abuse and financial abuse, just different kinds of things, how you overcome that, how you come back and create financial success, life success after dealing with instances like this. And we'll talk a little bit about her unique story as well as my own, because I unfortunately have some experience with this as well. So stay tuned. You're going to see a lot of great stuff here. So ZY, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, why you're excited to be on the podcast today, and we'll get going.
Hi, everyone. And Jax, thank you so much for having me. I really believe that my story will inspire a lot of women to overcome their trauma, their financial abuse, and abuse in general. And today I would love to share my personal 10 most common and most powerful tips which helped me to rebuild myself from scratch. Like literally I was reborn like a phoenix who were living in her car up to making over 6 figures a year.
Awesome. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your story. Like where did this all start? Where did this all how did this all go down?
Where did I find that guy?
Well, I mean, I guess we could go there too, right? But yeah, I had one of those as well, so I get it.
Yeah, I got married. I fell in love with this amazing person, and it turns out that he's not that amazing. That he was trying to show me who he is, and I moved into the country, absolutely left behind everything. My friends, my family, my career, and I needed to start everything from scratch here. And in some period of the time, I realized that I am in abusive relationships. I was abused financially, mentally, physically, sexually. All these beautiful things were happening to me.
Yeah, I'm so
And the biggest thing that you need to understand is you just need to sit down and acknowledge what the heck is going on with you right now. Yes, he or she, again, abuse doesn't have a gender.
No, it does not.
It can happen with everyone, unfortunately. You just need acknowledge what happened to you and try to take control back.
Sure.
Just trying to make a plan, understand like what is under the threat, like your finances, your documentations, your information, what is like the first thing that you need to save and get back to you under your power.
Yeah. I think a lot of times people don't even really realize and or recognize that it's even transpiring. I know for me specifically that I got married really young. I was always pretty driven. I always pretty much had a pretty good idea of what I wanted. And I think he thought I was a good fit for him, that I met this checklist of things that he wanted in a wife. And what we didn't really realize as much was the fact that that didn't necessarily correspond, right? And I don't actually think that my ex is a bad person. So to this day, you won't hear me say that I think he's a bad guy. I think that he had some issues of his own, some self-worth challenges, some challenges with kind of where he stood on this planet. And I'm a very strong personality, right? And so he was doing his best as a man to control me, and he was doing it however he saw fit. And a lot of that was a lot of gaslighting and verbal abuse. And so for me, for the longest time, I didn't even realize it was transpiring because it wasn't the traditional viewpoint of abuse.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like we decided as a couple that he was going to control the money. Mm-hmm. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that his attitude of like giving me the third degree when I went to Target and kind of controlling me in that sort of financial way and not allowing me to have any freedom with the money that predominantly I was actually making in our relationship, I don't think for a long time I recognized that for what it was. So, first of all, I want to point out, if you're in this sort of cycle in the relationship that you're in, right? And again, regardless of gender, we happen to have experienced it from a female male perspective, but it could be from a male female perspective or a female female perspective, male male. Like, there's not really a limit on that. It's important to acknowledge what's happening, because a lot of times people just don't want to recognize that, right?
Absolutely.
They love this person,
They
and
love this
they're making
person.
excuses for them.
Absolutely. And you don't believe, like, you are in a relationship with someone, you don't believe that the person that you love and loves you can abuse you, first of all. And second of
Sure,
all, those people are so tricky that they will convince you that you are like a cow and you will believe in it.
sure.
And that's why you need just to sit down, like pull back and think, like think about your situation as a third person. You're not involved in this. You're not in love with the person. You are not. You are just you, like, I don't know. Just think about it like you are thinking about your friend's family situation. Like, what for
Exactly.
real is going on there? It is real. Is it true? Is it, like, do I feel good there? Because in my case, I arrived and he was a provider, but we discussed it earlier before we got married. I said, like, do you understand that I'm going to be financially dependent on you for
Sure.
maybe like half a year or year until I get all the documentation, until I will find a job? And he's like, everything is fine. I'm going to, I'm going to give you $200 per week spending money. And I was like, okay. I didn't know how much I need per week here. Again,
Sure.
like, I
Didn't have a
wasn't
frame of
aware
reference.
about a lot of city about things here. But he told me that it is great, and this is how it's working in the United States, that man is controlling all the money. And we ended up, like, I have zero, nothing. I ended up living in my car, and he's sitting on like thousands of dollars. So as I said, like, first of all, you need to sit down, and if you even need like a professional help, that's fine, but you need to make sure that you speak into a trusted person. If you don't have any friends or relatives here, as I didn't, you need to find someone like pro bono, non-profit, like trying to find someone who will keep the information that you sharing with, and that will people who will help you to understand what is their reality,
Right.
what the heck is going on, and what you're supposed to do, what is this, and like talk to someone and secure all your important financial information.
Oh yeah,
Because
for sure.
what happened to me, and again, now I understand what happened to me. Back that time, I was like, that's weird. That was my reaction. But I
Yeah.
was in such danger. He was using my social security to open a credit card under my name for the stuff that he needs. And that was thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And
For
the
sure.
good, like, thanks God, I don't know, universe, whatever you believe in, I ended up being like in a situation where he's giving my social security to the guy who's trying to pull in for credit report on me. And I was like, excuse me, what are you doing? He's like, oh, your husband. I was like, yes, right, he is my husband, but did I provide you my personal information? So there was a situation where he was trying to manipulate me and like financially abused, and there was a guy who were charmed by him who did illegal thing as well. And
Right.
that's why sometimes you can end it up like you can even didn't know that there is like some debts under your name.
Oh, yes.
That's why.
When it comes to mortgage, we deal with that more than you think. Like, people not realizing certain things have happened and gone into people's names. And the difficult part is because your spouse, they do know a lot of information about you. And a lot of times they can do it super easily. Like, they get
Right.
go online, they can fill out the information. They don't ever have to talk to a live person to be able
That's true.
to get
Yes.
that stuff, right? I mean, they simply have to know, information about you, your date of birth, your name, the social security number, your mother's maiden name, like the big aspects, and be able to
Right.
fill all
Right.
those things out. And a lot of times, again, I will preface by saying that I don't think all people who abuse that was their intent, that was like what they set out to do, right? Some of them, they have some mental issues of their own, right? Or things that they haven't dealt with or handled. Regardless, though, you have to awareness is sort of like step one, right? Because
Absolutely.
it can definitely put you in a really bad spot, like where it was having you in your car. Because if somebody destroys your credit, right? Because they've taken out stuff in your name, if they've done all these kinds of things, like, then it can be really difficult for you to even if you have some money, to find a place to rent, right? Find somewhere to live. And it can create some massive challenges
Right.
for you on the financial aspect. And a lot of people don't really think
And
about that.
right. Yes, I agree with you. I'm not saying that abuse, like, I do not justify abusers. I do believe it's some mental issues, but at the same time, I really want everyone. I wish we can, if kids can study it at school. What is abuse? How it
Right.
looks like?
What does it look like?
Because when you are adult and something is happening to you and you have nothing, no one to ask like what's going on, so you need to have at least basic information and base, like what I was saying, to protect yourself. Even if you are in a happy marriage, listen, please hear me out, ladies. If you are even in a happy marriage, you supposed to protect your credit report. Just
Sure.
freeze it and keep it under just your name, just, or not just under, freeze it and keep it secure.
Well, part of the reason I talk about money as much as I do is because so many people are afraid to talk about money, even sometimes with their own spouses, because we all come in with our own ideas, preconceived notions about money, how it works, how all those aspects kind of affect our lives. And then we come into a marriage or a domestic partnership, whatever this is, right? Whereas you're kind of merging some financial things together, and we don't want to have those kind of conversations because they're uncomfortable, and we don't really want to talk about that because that's not a fun thing to talk about. But let
it's
me just
more
tell you, it'll make or break you in a hot
it's
hurry.
more intimate to talk about money than you talk about sex. And
100%.
it's weird, like I am the one who's like, you need to sign up the prenup. You must to protect yourself.
Absolutely.
Either
Oh yeah,
you
people think that prenups are a bad thing. They actually make just it's sort of like creating a rule book so you have an understanding of like what those rules look like.
right.
Um, a lot of people just don't think like it's like I've had many conversations on the podcast before about estate planning, right? So either creating wills or trust, right? People don't like to talk about that because in their mind they're talking about death. But I'm like, okay, but then do you want to go through hell when somebody does pass away and you haven't thought all those things through? I'm all about intention.
Of
Creating
course.
intention.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Welcome to Financial Mastery Simplified, your go-to podcast for making smart money decisions. We break down complex financial topics into easy-to-understand advice you can use every day. Our experts cover everything from budgeting and saving to investing and retirement planning. We give you the tools to take control of your money and build the future you want. With Financial Mastery Simplified, you'll feel informed and empowered to make the best choices for your financial health. Tune in to Financial Mastery Simplified on your favorite podcast platform. Start your journey to financial confidence today. Welcome to House U, where we believe in the power of education. At House U, we're more than just a brand. We're your partner in home ownership, dedicated to educating, equipping, and empowering you every step of the way. Education is at the heart of everything we do. We offer comprehensive resources designed to make home ownership simple and accessible for all. From understanding mortgage options to mastering home maintenance, House U provides the knowledge you need to make informed decisions with confidence. We host workshops and seminars, bringing together experts and community members to share insights and build a stronger, more informed community. Because when you're educated, you're empowered. House U, home ownership made simple for all. Visit our website or contact us today to start your journey with House U. Empower yourself with knowledge and embrace the joy of home ownership.
Thanks for your patience. Now back to our conversation.
And let me ask you this. Just think about this. When you buy a car insurance, are you thinking about like crashing your car?
Right. Absolutely not.
No. When you're signing up a prenup agreement, you're not talking about divorce, or you're not talking about like something bad happened tomorrow.
Right.
You are protecting yourself. You protect,
Sure.
both sides are protected. Because when, God forbid, you're becoming like those people who were madly, deeply in love with each other, and life happened, you are going like different directions. What happened? You become like the most biggest, wildest enemies.
Mhm.
And you don't want that. You don't want to be drained mentally, emotionally, financially, because if you have a prenup agreement, you don't need fight over a lot of things, because this is a
It's laid
statement, this
out.
is a document that you
That's
both
right.
signed up, and here we go. Like, this is the path we're going. If you want more from me, okay, go to the court, like talk to the judge, whatever, like you paying for everything. But I am saying what belongs to me. And again, if you are living in a happy marriage, you suppose we're talking about money. I love money. Money is everything. And if you are in a happy marriage and you're a homestay mom, you supposed to have your own um, savings account or checking account just under your name and secure money there. And you
Mhm.
need, I really want that every single stay home mom would say that to honey, I love you so much, I'm proud of you so much, you provider, you best of the best, but I need to protect myself and our
For sure.
kids just in case God forbid something happened to you. And I would like to have X amount of money per week sent into my bank account. And it's not about
Absolutely.
I'm gonna rape you off. It's not about like I'm gonna like bankruptcy you or whatever. It's about me taking care of myself. Because what can happen if again, I'm not trying to scare someone and saying that with you something gonna happen. Something gonna happen like with you, I guarantee you. No, rather be protected, and for example you live like happy life together, and in 50 years both of you are retired, but you still have that account that he's been sending money to. So what you can do, just buy yourself like a trip all over the world.
I was gonna say, I recommend, like, when people, I'm in a bunch of different financial groups and Facebook and stuff like that, and I give advice and my opinion about things. And a lot of times people ask the question of, oh, well, should we have separate accounts, accounts
Yes,
together? And I
yes,
always recommend that people do both. That they have like a main account where they have the
right,
main money going in with like big bills, right? Things coming out. However you've agreed money to flow in. If you're both wage earners, if you're not if you're not both people that submit money in, still have the main account where all the bills come from, and you each have a separate side account, right?
yep,
Where you have some extra money go into. So it allows you, if for instance you want to buy a gift for somebody, they can't see that account, right? They can't see you purchasing some thing for the other person, right? You want it to be a surprise. Or if there is something maybe that you just see in a window at a store and you're thinking, man, that's, I really would love that for myself, and you wanted to be able to buy it, you have the
absolutely,
ability to do that, because we each need to have a little bit of both, right? There's got to be like the structure of like, here's what our big bills are and this is how we're accomplishing them and paying them out. And then there's got to be some money where it is what it is, like I can kind of spend it freely. I don't really have to worry about it, right?
yeah. Having a separate account, it has a lot of benefits. It's not just like just in case something happened to you. What if your partner lost a job, but you still have your own account where like you saved some money there and you can support your family for like
Right.
this period of the time while he
Hmm.
or she is trying to go back and find some other job.
Yeah, my husband and I have done that too, where maybe because we both work in like heavy commission based industry, so it's a little bit more of a roller coaster. It's not
Right.
like an exact amount that's flowing into our accounts all the time. We have a situation where sometimes we know we're going to be a little short, so then we both say, hey, I'm going to pull this much, I'm going to throw it in from my side account, I'm going to pull this much, I'm going to throw it into the from my side account to make that. So it does give you a lot of protectionary measures too. I just think that a lot of times when it comes to anything in life, but money specifically, people do not live intentionally. They don't think things through until things are going wrong. Like you
Right.
made the
Right.
question about, do you think about your car crashing when you buy car insurance?
Right.
No. But how many people don't want to buy car insurance and wouldn't buy car insurance if they weren't, one, forced by the state, right, to protect
Hmm.
other people, and
Right.
two, if you have your car financed, the person that financed your car, right, that entity is going to force you to protect their asset in the form of car insurance. And
Right.
so a lot of times people don't think things through because they want to believe that nothing bad is going to happen. And the truth is that probably nothing is going to happen to you bad, but at some point over the course of your life, you are going to have a few things here and there bad that are going to happen to you, such as life. And if you don't properly insulate yourself, protect yourself, right, take the proper steps, then you will not be able to get to where you want to be, right? And it's really easy for those things that you think are never going to happen to totally decimate.
Yep, absolutely. And that's why you need to educate yourself on your personal finances. We're talking about the budgeting, saving, like managing all your debts, all these things. But I want to say a really important thing here, that you need to create a realistic budget and savings plan, like what you having right now, how you can start. You don't want to have like thousands of dollars to do that. Again, in my case, when I ended up being on the street, I did have some savings, like a little bit. I think I don't remember how much. That was not many, but I needed to pay for the lawyers. I need to find a place to live. Like, what about my credit score? Like all these questions. And I was eating half of Subway sandwich for the entire day because I knew that I can spend just $6
Right.
and that's it. I knew it's not going to be forever. I knew like tomorrow, any week, in a month, I'm going to do better. But for today, my budget for the food, unfortunately, or for the best, is just $6. That's it.
Right.
And I cannot do anymore. But my budget for savings at that period was like about a couple of $100s. Why? Because I know how much lawyer cost. I know how much I need to pay like per month for like the room or whatever I was trying to find. And I
Right.
need to pay the car insurance. I need to pay the car, because back that time, that year when that happened, the next year when that happened, because that happened on the Christmas Eve. So at the end of the year,
Wow.
I worked like five different jobs, like low paid, whatever. I was trying to find myself a way to provide myself. And I'll tell you even more. I have 3 degrees,
Wow.
and I, put my crown down and say like, baby girl, now you need to, you know, do a little bit more, like do a little
Right.
bit extra. And I did five, as I said, five low paid jobs. And that's why that period till now, I own my place, I have my car, I have a great job, and I'm enjoying this life. Because
Right.
why? Because I took responsibility to acknowledge what happened to me. I was financially abused. I was abused like in all ways, but who is in the power? Who is the captain of the life? I
Right.
am. Like, was I struggle? Oh my God, girl, I cannot tell you how much I was struggling, how many nights I was crying. I was thinking to go back. I was thinking that I'm crazy, that I'm overreacting, that he's nice and I'm a bad person
For
because
sure.
he said so. But it doesn't matter how hard it is today. Tomorrow it will be better.
Absolutely.
And I want everyone believe in this, even in finances as well. Just little by little, even like couple of dollars will save you tomorrow when you know how to manage them. When you know like all your buckets, like here's like my bills, here's my lawyers, here's my rent, here's something else. Managing is everything.
People a lot of times they don't realize that, yeah, sometimes there is a moment in time you have to step back and you have to do some sacrifices or some hard things that are uncomfortable, and they may feel beneath you or that's not exactly what you want or whatever. But a lot of times, if you're continuously driving towards success, right, you'll get there, right? And you can
Yep.
have that abundant mindset. You can have that abundance like flowing through you and to you. But sometimes it's not necessarily easy. A lot of people don't know this, but as of this moment in time, I actually have multiple jobs. There's a very specific reason, and at some point I will share a lot more about that story. With a really crazy, horrific real estate transaction situation happen, and it created some financial turmoil that shouldn't necessarily have existed, but it does. And so I mean, here I am. I have a law degree, and here I am working a job, right? That a ton of people that are basically more or less right at the age of 18 are taking. And a
Right.
lot of people were like, why are you doing that? And I said, because I will ensure I financially succeed. I will know that I'm going to get to exactly where that needs to be. If that
Right.
means that it's not exactly like I want it to look and it's not exactly perfect, guess what? That's okay. right? Because I understand, just like you did, it's a temporary situation.
Right.
Everything in your life, no matter how hard you are riding through it, it is temporary. You
Absolutely.
have to look through the forest, through the trees. You have to see the big picture and know that you can end up exactly where you are. And sometimes it doesn't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting, like she
Mm-hmm.
said, you're crying in your car or
Mm-hmm.
at home or whatever it is, right? You're exhausted because you've got lack of sleep. You have so many things going on,
Right.
right? My 3-year-old sometimes gets upset and cries because I'm not around as much as I'd like to be. But you know what? I know that it is temporary.
That's true.
And you have to remind yourself of that no matter what you're going through, as long as you are looking
Yep.
at it from a solid
Yep.
perspective and moving forward, it's
Yep.
gonna figure itself out. It
Yep.
it just
Yeah,
will.
that year I was like maybe half a year, I was sleeping like for 4 hours a day. That's it. Because I didn't have other choice. I just needed to work all the jobs,
Correct.
doing everything that I can, just focus on income growth. Like
Right.
I know that like what I'm making right now is not good enough, but how I can do better. I was like,
Right.
okay, I was sitting down, I was like, okay, what resources I have right now? I have my car. Okay, how I can make money with my car? That was the most dangerous job for the lady. I was driving Uber, but I knew that is temporary. And
Right.
I want to tell this, it's really important. If you feel blue and you feel bad, drained, like destroyed, you need to sit down and acknowledge it. Like
Mhm.
right now, I feel disgusting inside me. I'm so tired. I'm so drained. It's like you acknowledging your feelings, but you're not stuck in them.
Right.
You giving yourself like, okay, I need a big cry. How long? Maybe half an hour or an hour. Okay, that's fine. Like sit down, cry like everything that you want to cry about, like scream, yell, do whatever you need to do. Just
For sure.
express all your feelings, your anger, your frustration. Just let it go. And then like put yourself together and go like and win this world. Because I know that you can.
Oh yeah. People are powerful beyond measure. So powerful. I mean, I think and I talk a lot about, like, people are always like, "You're so crazy. You have so much resilience. How do you do that?" or whatever. There's so much energy. I can never do that cuz like when I was going to law school, I actually worked full time. I did 2.5 hours round trip commute between work, home and school for 4 years. And I was doing full-time law school and I was doing full-time work. I had to be at work by 7 a.m. I worked 7 to 4. And then I did law school usually starting around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then I usually didn't get home until 10 or 11 o'clock at night, something like that. Right. And
Yeah.
started it all over again. And I still had homework and everything else to do, to complete, to be able to accomplish that goal, that dream. And, again, I knew that it was temporary. Well, where did this resilience come from? So you'll appreciate this since you are also not from this country. So my Oma, which is my mother's mother, she grew up during the Great Depression and lived in Germany when it was bad. Before Hitler came in power, and she talks about how she married somebody who kind of abused her in a way, and why did she marry him? Because she actually was getting shot at by a farmer
Mm.
for trying to steal potatoes because they were so
Mm.
poor and they were so hungry that they were trying to steal potatoes, do whatever it
Mhm.
took to, to
Mhm.
to help their. They had a little bitty baby brother, and their mom was trying to work, and their dad was unfortunately passed. And so they were just doing whatever they could. They worked multiple jobs, and anyway, so she married this man.
Mhm.
Well, what she didn't realize is he was a con man,
Oh.
spawning in a lot of different ways. And he was arrested by at that time, I guess it would have been the SS because it was when
Mhm.
Hitler was in, or at the very end, I guess it was right at the end of World War II when
Mhm.
that happened, when he was arrested. And she had a 3-year-old.
Oh.
And so her
Oh my
husband is
God.
arrested. She has a 3-year-old. He used to make great money because he was a con man and she didn't
Right.
realize like
Right.
where the
Right.
money was
Right.
coming from. And she had to get a roommate for her 2-bedroom apartment, and she has a 3-year-old and she has to work and she can't afford to pay for anybody to watch him. So she literally, and this is crazy because I mean this is a different era, guys.
Okay. Go.
She kept him in the room. She had food. She prepared food every morning for him, and she had a bucket for him to use the bathroom in, and she had him in the room for the few hours she would go. And when she had her first job in the morning, she threw papers and she would bring him with her. And then
Mhm.
when she had to go for part of the day, and she had his aunt, which was her ex-husband,
Mm-hmm,
well,
mm-hmm.
no, ex-husband's sister, would
Sister.
go and check in on Pete and make sure he was okay. But a lot of times people don't realize that, hey, you have to tap every resource you've got, your tribe, people
Right.
around you, like you have to do what you have to do. And that's not what she wanted to do. And the second she could move apartments, she did, right? So she could have a less of a payment and things like that. And she figured out a way. But people don't realize we are powerful beyond measure. Where there's a will, there's a way. And that's exactly what she did. She just figured it out.
Yeah.
And we all have
It,
to do the same.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Imagine having the power to control your financial destiny, no matter where you start. Welcome to Financial Mastery Simplified, where financial education is tailored to your unique journey. We cover everything you need, from basic budgeting and saving strategies to advanced investing and retirement planning. Learn at your own pace with lessons that match your level of experience, whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your financial knowledge. Join our community of learners and benefit from shared insights and expert guidance. Financial Mastery Simplified equips you with the skills and confidence to take charge of your financial future, your life, your terms. Ready to master your finances? Enroll in our courses today at Financial Mastery Simplified. Start your path to financial independence now. Hello, and welcome to PBJ Mortgage, where your home ownership dreams become reality. Today, we want to share why choosing PBJ Mortgage is the right choice for your home financing needs. At PBJ Mortgage, we're built on a foundation of values that drive us every day. Our commitment to educate, empathize, and empower our clients sets us apart in the mortgage industry. Our clients are at the heart of everything we do, and their success stories speak volumes. With years of experience, our team possesses in-depth knowledge of the mortgage programs, ensuring you receive expert guidance and the best possible rates. We offer a diverse range of loan options to suit your unique needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and more. No matter your situation, we've got a solution. At PBJ Mortgage, we pride ourselves on providing personalized service. Our dedicated loan officers are here to guide you every step of the way, making the process as smooth as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We understand that time is of the essence, which is why we've streamlined our processes for efficiency and convenience. Transparency and clear communication are paramount. You'll always know where you stand throughout your mortgage journey. Reach out to us today to set up a call to discover your options. If you're ready to make your home ownership dreams a reality, contact PBJ Mortgage today. Let us empower you during this exciting journey. Phone number 4-693-733-107 www.pbjteam.com. Visit our website or give us a call to get started. We look forward to helping you secure your future home. PBJ Mortgage, where home begins.
Thanks for your patience. Now back to our conversation.
and you said really nice thing that maybe like I will light it up. You need to talk to the people. And people like me who are domestic violence survivors, they're not talking much about the situation, what happened with them.
For sure.
Because there's multiple reasons. There's most of them, it's a shame to be judged.
For sure.
Fear to be it's a shame, and it's fear to be judged. Because how on earth that happened to me? You're so confused. But the second you start talking that you need a little bit help, I never asked for help, but I just said like, this happened to me. And my ex-boss, I used to work for the man, he's like, okay, let me talk to my wife. I think you will be able to stay in my house for like a couple of weeks. I was like, you kidding me? Like I was working for the person.
Right.
I was like, but I was living in a garage. Like there was a garage, but they renovated like a room, something. But it was really
Right.
cold. That was winter. It was really cold there. But I was so happy because I'm sleeping in a bed, not in my car. Then I would start talking to other people, and it appears that my friend, she was abused as well. She's like, okay, I'm gonna give you a couple of tips. And then I was like, oh, okay. Through my other friend, I met another guy who just like, oh, here at the restaurant we're looking for some hostess, like, are you willing to try? I was like, yes, of course. And how it started, like, you actually need to say what happened to you in order to get help from the world.
For
And
sure.
I'm not exaggerating right now. The world will help you the second you will
100%.
step out, the second you will say, like, here's my boundaries here, like, I don't deserve this, I deserve just the best. And yes, it will be hard. Like, I'm not trying to give you like a fairy tale that you will, stepping out and you just like, woo, on a roof, right, on the top. No, you will need to go through some tough time, and you will need to learn your lessons. You need to analyze yourself, what inside you that led you to choose the person who will treat you like that.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not really easy because we are so scared to meet our own like feelings, and that's why people are afraid to be alone.
There's
It's
so
just
much resilience inside people, and they don't realize that there are really great people who do want to help, but you do have to raise your hand, and you do have to, kind of let people. And some people won't help, and that's okay. Like,
that's
you know what I
okay.
mean? It's okay. But there are a ton of people, and there are so many resources, right? Like, it's part of the reason I started doing the podcast is I have so much financial information, so much ability to try to provide things with people to help, reshape their mindset, to give them good information, to allow them to succeed financially on their own terms in their own way. People just don't realize that literally you just have to tap the resources, because in the last year I've had more crazy people help me and reach out. And when I've been honest and I'm like, look, I'm not in a position right now, usually I am, but I can't afford to really help you with that, right? I can't afford to pay for that, or I can only pay this much for that, or whatever the case may be. And so many people have helped me and given me a hand up and said, hey, this is what I can do. And I'm so appreciative of that, right?
Right.
And it's also why I want to give back, is because other people have been willing to do the same for me. So
Yes.
please don't sleep on the fact that there are people out there, great people in the world, who will try to help you. And then it's your job to pay it forward and try to do the same for others in whatever way you can do that. Maybe it's not a
Absolutely.
financially way. You can do it in a different way. It doesn't matter.
Yep, it doesn't matter that you're gonna pay my bills. And the most important thing for those who've been in a situation like that, like financially drained, you don't need to expect someone to pay off your debts. Like, this is a mindset that helped me a lot. I sat down and I thought, what is the most important thing I need right now? That was an information. Information, like, how many choices do I have? Because again, being a newborn for this country, I didn't know, like, you can laugh at me, but I didn't know didn't know what was miles and pounds. I
Right.
didn't know I didn't know what is 401k. Like, I
Right.
didn't know all that information.
Sure.
But if you will get an information, you already will gain power.
For sure.
This is how I want people to think. You have information, you dive in deeper, and you get in like understanding deeper and deeper and deeper. And you are responsible for your life, for your steps, for you controlling your life, and you controlling your emotions, not anger, not upsetness, like happiness, whatever. It's not controlling you. You controlling it. You are captain of your brain and everything.
Yes.
And another great tip that helped me through this, like, thunderstorm period of my life, that you need to celebrate your wins. It
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
matter how big they are. You did better this day, just celebrate yourself. Anyway, like, I'm doing this in different ways. Right now, I can afford to get myself some gift. I'm going online, ordering something, and it's here. And I was like, baby, you did such a great. This is for this win, and this is for that. Like, I'm so proud of you. And sometimes I'm go into the bathroom and look at it in my eyes, like I'm talking to myself. I'm not crazy, I promise. This is a really
No,
great.
it is a good thing to talk to yourself,
It's a
definitely.
really good thing. It's a great, powerful tactic. You just look it into your eyes. You can cry like a baby. You can, and that's fine. Because for the first times, I couldn't talk to myself. I was like, ugh. oh, like my words were stuck in my throat. Like I couldn't say I'm proud of you. I couldn't say like you did great. You're such a great. You just fantastic. I couldn't. I was sitting there. I was staying there in my bathroom, looking at myself and crying like a baby because I couldn't say a good word about me. A single good word never happened. But I was trying and trying, trying and trying, trying and trying. I will say this again, trying and trying until you become really great and successful. Now I like when I'm passing the mirror, I was like, like because I'm sending myself like kisses and whatever because I know what I've been through.
Right.
And now I acknowledge like I've been in hell. And yes, I was ashamed. I was frustrated. I was upset. Why would I choose someone like that? Why would I let him treat me like that
Oh,
for
right.
that
The
period of
guilt.
the time, right? I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? Well, like, see, why? Why? And I was mad at myself.
Oh, yeah.
But then, like, every day after, like, even now I have like some delays. I when I bought my own place, I wasn't realizing that until like in 9 months. Nine. I was so focused on building everything from scratch because again, I didn't have any background. No spoons, no couches, no blankets, nothing. I just bought the
Right.
place, did some renovation, moved in. That was me, my dogs, and a chair and a bed. That's it. And for next 9 months I was working on renovation, decoration, like buy myself a new things, and I didn't realize how huge growth I made since like I've been living in my car
Oh,
till
yeah.
till now. I'm an owner. And guess what happened? Like the night I realized it, I cried, and that's
For sure.
okay. Like if they believe that happy people don't cry, it's not true. Happy
No.
people cries too. I consider myself a happy person. I'm doing a lot of practices, I'm doing a lot of work, like inner work with myself, but sometimes I need to cry. What is this song? Sometimes girl need a big cry. There's some song about that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I think to your point, the mindset shift too, like not only just celebrating your wins, but also creating an attitude of gratitude, a constant being appreciative for the things
Yay.
that you do have, because it's
Yay.
so easy to focus on the mountain of things you don't have, or the things you
Absolutely.
haven't accomplished yet, or the things
That's
that
good.
haven't gone your way, or whatever, right? And I have actually had to work really hard on that because I'm a problem solver by nature. And so I naturally can see the
Mm-hmm.
challenges like that can pop up. And so my brain then wants to go and like focus on them because I'm ADHD. So it's like, okay, cool. We need to fix all these problems. And so instead, I've had to step back and say, no, hold on, wait. What am I thankful for? What am I grateful for? What are the things that are going well, that have, succeeded or whatever, right? I woke up this morning and like really shifting that mindset. And it's hard and it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that life is amazing and is full of so much abundance that just exists. And I'm in this abundance challenge right now that I'm really learning a lot about abundance. And I never really thought about it described this way. Basically, she said it wasn't what did she say? It's not the law of attraction. It was the law of frequency, and that you're not
Yep.
on the right frequency. So the abundance is literally exists. It's right there out for everybody to reach, right? But you have to learn to tune in to that frequency to be able to channel in that abundance and to start moving forward. And you have to take those steps and move forward. And
Mm-hmm.
I think this was an amazing episode. We most definitely have to have you back. We will have to have many more conversations surrounding similar type things. But tell us any last thoughts, as well as do you have an offer for the audience and things like that? We'd love to hear that from you.
Oh my God. First of all, I would like let me just say this. I would like for everyone who is struggling with acknowledging what they have, that is a little bit practice, little easy practice that will help you a lot. You just take in an empty jar and a piece of paper and you're just writing down what was your achievement today or this week, whatever. And just like put in there. You just throw in there and you forget it about all that day or all that things. And one day when you're feeling blue, you just open that jar and you will see how much you already did to get where you're at right now. And you will appreciate you. It's easy. Sometimes people saying that it won't work. Believe me, if it won't work, I will give you my personal consultation for free. If you will do this for the entire year, and at the end of the year, your personal year before your birthday, or New Year, if you're gonna do this every week, putting down this little like gratitude and acknowledging what you just did, guys, if you're gonna commit and it's not working, the consultation is for free. And for everyone who was listening to this podcast who is happy and want to change their life, what I will do is a peasy lemon squeezy. You just need to follow my Instagram page and send me a word podcast in private messages, and I will send you 5 practices, morning practice. That is the laziest practice. You're just lying down in a bed. You don't need to do anything. You just like open your eyes and you do these little things that will boost your energy for the entire day. I'm doing those every day, different.
Awesome.
Each day it's something different. Again, follow my Instagram, word podcast in the private messages, and it's yours.
Perfect. In the show notes, we'll make sure to include all those links so you guys can easily access ZY's information. And again, we thank you so much for being on the podcast with us. And hopefully this episode of Financial Mastery Simplified was helpful for you. And we will see you again next week on another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified.
Thank you.